Welcome back to Talk with Tay podcast. We'll be back with another episode, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always, bro. Man, it's been something weighing on me super heavy lately, bro, when it comes to grief, right? A lot of guilt. A lot of guilt has been it's been tearing me up lately. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I've been feeling guilty for a lot of things. I told y'all a story about how this first I started to first get this feeling. My grandmother passed away in 2017, right? At this time my life was really in shambles. You know what I mean? I was in school at the time, but I had to step away from school. you know had baseball taken away from me. I had gotten surgery. You know what I mean? So this year was like, it was just super rough. You know what I mean? I'm back in the hood, back at home, not even knowing if baseball or school, my safe place essentially, right, is even in the cards for me at this point, because there's a lot going on, not just with me, but with my family and everything too. So it was just rough, man. It was rough. I had to step away from school, come back home and, just be, disabled for a very long time. You know what I mean? So that was that was hard in itself. So I was real moody and I was just angry at the world about everything, you know what I mean, about my situation. Uh, at the time, I didn't really understand what God was doing for me. Didn't understand nothing that was going on at the time. But this is the year that my grandmother passed away. And, that guilt, that feeling started when I lost her, right? I still remember this story that I'm about to tell y'all. It was so vivid, man. It's like I blame myself even to this day, right? I still blame myself a lot for these things taking place. It's around Thanksgiving time. It's around Thanksgiving time, right? And my grandma, she always came over, to the crib, whatever, right? That was my girl, like. So I saw her all the time, man. And this one time that she came over, mind you, she know what's going on with everything. She know my whole situation or whatever, right? So she saw the frustration, but she would always talk to me and tell me, it was gonna be all right. I'm gonna bounce back and all of these things, you know what I mean? But it was so hard for me to even believe that myself at the time, because it was like everything was taken away from me in a split instance, you know what I mean? So it was hard to deal with that mentally, and just not knowing where what the next move is gonna be for me. So like I said, she came over to my house all the time, right? And this one time that she came over, man, I was going through the motions, right? This is months at a time, probably from like October on until she passed away, right? But she came over, and this particular day, I was like, I'm staying in my room, I don't want to fuck with nobody, I don't want to talk, I don't, I ain't really got shit to say, man. And every time my grandma would come over, I would always go see her and be downstairs with her and my mom. You know what I mean? Just seeing my grandma. That's my grandma. You know what I mean? So it was normal for that to be a thing. This day when she came over, I knew she came over. I could hear her, downstairs or whatever. I didn't come out my room that entire day anyway, right? I'm hurting, I'm in pain. I got this fat cast on my arm. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm going through it. And she come to the hallway area, right? And she calling my name. I hear her calling me, but I don't say nothing. You know what I mean? I'm ignoring her. I'm ignoring everybody. Everybody calling me, tell me come out the room. I got my door shut, it's locked and all of that shit. I'm like, bro, I don't got time. Like, I don't want to be bothered type shit. So I just kept ignoring them. They was calling me, calling me, calling me for a couple minutes straight, honestly, for real. Hey man, I found these new pops, bro. They call it Poppy. I'm not a pop drinker at all. All I drink is water and Gatorade, but shit, these good, bro. They supposed to be healthy and stuff like that, but 20 calories and all of that. But let me know if y'all ever had these, bro. This ain't no sponsorship or nothing, but yeah, it say no fake stuff on here. Yeah, these they slap though. I ain't gonna lie to you, but so I'm ignoring, I'm ignoring everybody calling my name. My brother was at the crib at the time too. And my mama called me screaming my name. Like, bro, I don't want to be bothered. Then my grandma, she's at the step, at the hallway of the step. She's like, I see you later. Next time I come over, you better come out that room, right? And then I instantly felt bad, but I'm still in my mood. I still ain't come out. Bro, I was like, in my head, I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna do my grandma like that next time. Cause she ain't play that shit at all. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna do that again, man. I can't wait till she come back over. She usually come back over to the house like the next day or the day after or something like that. So it was a quick turnaround time for me to see her again. Days go by, she don't come over. You know what I mean? A week go by, still ain't came back over, and then next thing you know, they like, hey, something wrong with grandma. She ain't been feeling well and all of this. She's sick. You know, people with life, right? People become ill, people become sick or whatever. So we like, damn, all right, make sure grandma good. That's just what I'm thinking, right? Everybody thinking like, damn, she all right type, you know what I mean? Cause my grandma was strong, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that turned into that, right? Oh, grandma sick. The next thing you know, bro, I promise you, like a week has gone by now. Probably like 2 days, additional 2 days, man. We get a phone call. Paramedics had to rush to my grandma's house and rush her to the hospital. Now at this point, I'm like, oh shit, like what's going on? You know what I mean? Now, the worry is starting to kick in because my grandma wasn't sick like that. You know what I mean? Like she didn't really get sick to the point where we got to rush her to the hospital. So that kind of shifted, the family a little bit. We like, whoa, like what's going on? You know what I mean? So fast forward, you know, we found out, you know, some blockage in her heart. So that's why she couldn't breathe. You know what I mean? She just couldn't breathe. So that's why they had to, come into the house and, kind of break the door down and stuff like that. Move all the furniture out of the way. They had to get upstairs to get her. She stayed in an apartment. So she at the hospital now. And you know how you can feel when something is a little is serious, right? We can't go see her in the emergency room. So boom, that's that. So now it's more of a panic with everybody and all of this stuff. And then we finally get to the hospital. We found out she had pneumonia. We like, damn, pneumonia is pretty serious. So we thinking that, we're not thinking fatal at this point. At least I'm not. I'm not thinking this is about to turn fatal. So we at the hospital, and then we at the hospital this day for a very long time, and we finally got to go back and see her, bro. And they let us see her for like a couple seconds, man. And oh my God, bro, I will never ever forget that image of my grandmother. She had tubes all through her body, bro, and she looking, she have, you know what I mean? It was some shit I can't even explain, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It was like a horror film. Like it was some crazy shit. I'm looking, I'm like, oh fuck. Like soon as I saw it, I'm out. Like, nah, I can't do that. Nah. That shit it scared me. It scared me real, real bad, bro. So as we waiting at the hospital, days go by, we going back and forth. It's about 3, 4 days, back and forth, people staying there, going back, getting food, all of that stuff, right? And the night she died, man, I'll never forget this night, bro. At this point, days, like I said, days are going by. So we thinking, okay, maybe, things are getting better and stuff like that. You never know with hospitals and physicians, man. You just when you in that situation, they could say anything, or they can make the situation seem like it's something, but it's not. So we ain't really thinking much of it. No, not really thinking much of it, but like we chilling, we trying to see what's going on. And no, at this time at the hospital, we there from like 5 p.m. to like 2 a.m. And we finally, me and my mama decide, my brother, we go home. And I never forget, I saw my man's Dre. He pulled up to the hospital. I don't know what he was there for or whatever, but I'm talking to him and shit. And we go our separate ways. But I remember this vividly because soon I saw him, and then that's when we went to the crib, man. Soon as we got home, bro. Soon as we got to the crib, I hear the phone ring. My mama kept a house phone. I don't know why, but she kept that house phone. She heard that house. I heard the house phone ring, bro. She answered it. Hello. And from that forward, I heard the phone like just slam against the wall. My mama just started crying like real bad, like because at this point we waiting by the phone. We waiting to hear anything. So when I heard that phone ring, I went and sat by the step, like you feel me, like on some lost puppy type shit. I'm listening because I'm hearing the ring. She had to go get the phone. So I'm listening. And then I heard that phone slam against the wall, bro, and she just bust out crying. Like instantly I went numb. And this goes back to say, like, I feel guilty because what if I would have just came out of my room that day to see her? That was my last time seeing my grandma. It was all good, you know what I mean? And then the time that I had to see her again and physically interact with her, right? See her in, a state where she's healthy. I was so caught up in everything that I had going on in my life that I had no room to even, you know, think about nobody else. So again, when she left the house that day, I'm like, man, I'll see my grandma again. I ain't gonna do that again. And I didn't. I never got that chance to do that, bro. That shit it haunts me to this day. I still think that if I would have just came out of my room, she'd be alive. And this is something that, a lot of people deal with, is this guilt, thinking that you have control over things that you really have no control over. And I'm still trying to get to that point where I don't feel this way. My grandma passed away in 2017, bro. It's almost 10 years now. You get what I mean? And I still feel the same way. Like, what if I would have just came out of my room for just a few minutes just to say hi to my grandma? What could that have done to you never know, right? It's always in the back of my mind. Like, you never know what could have happened. So that shit, man, that shit fucked me up, man. And I was like, at this point, again, I'm back home from school. I'm not baseball is no longer in the picture. I avoided being home for reasons, for a lot of reasons, right? And after she passed away, I was like, man, I don't ever want to come back. So I went from I'm not gonna do this again, right? I hope I could, I'm gonna see my grandma again to not ever getting that time again. And then getting in the mindset of, oh man, once I get back to school and once I can do this, I ain't coming back. Not knowing that at the time I thought I was, protecting what I have going on and protecting myself. But I missed out on so much time with my mother, her last days on earth. And now I'm struggling with that again. You know what I mean? So So now I'm back in this cycle where it's like I wanted to stay home to get my shit I mean, stay away from home to get my shit together, but thinking I had time with my mom, and when I look back, man, that guilt always creeps up on me, bro. Every single time, man. I spent so much time away from the crib after that, bro. Man, I talk to my mama, like I talk to her all the time, you feel me? But man, I was so just hurt by the fact of what everything, excuse me, that was going on at home, man, and just knowing if I stay home too long, you never know what I can get caught up in, being back in you know, my environment. So that's the main reason I stay home. But man, I always had this feeling like I stayed away too long. I didn't get to spend I didn't prioritize quality time with my mother, bro. And her, because you got to think too, like, I'm not thinking that, okay, I'm in school. I'm gonna have time I'm thinking like, I'm gonna have time, I'm gonna finish, be with my mama all the time. I'm gonna go do nice things for her. This is what I'm thinking. God had other plans for me, bro. He had other plans for me. And all of those times, all of those holidays, I just stayed at school and, you know, didn't want to come home, you know? That shit eats me up every single day, bro. Every single day. Because I don't even know if I was actually protecting myself or like I don't even know. I really don't know. Obviously, it's the focus part. And me and my mom, we had to understand that she knew why I never came home. You know what I mean? She really encouraged me to not really come home that much because it was so much going on, bro, especially within the family too. Like, you know what I mean? It was a bunch of people living at my house at the time for many reasons and all of that stuff. So it was just like, nah, I can't, it's not the best situation for me. It was a bunch of shit going on. So I'm like, damn, like, man, I want to come home. I miss my mom. I was missing her bad, bro. But I knew if I came home, it was all something was going to distract me, or people was, you know, somebody was going to try to, just rub some negative shit off on me all the time, no matter what, bro. And it was a lot of family too, like they did shit like that. And I just really didn't fuck with that shit for real, bro. And I hated it. So I just, I talked to my mom about it and we both thought we had more time. That's the crazy part, man, cuz my mama she said she wanted to see me graduate college, right? And I told y'all this before, you know what I mean? Because I took that year off of school and had surgery and all of that, bouncing around from schools playing ball, it took me a little longer to graduate with my bachelor's degree. So the guilt of, damn, I finished school too late now. So she didn't get to see me graduate, walk the stage. And for her to pass away a week before, my college graduation, bro, there's no explaining that, right? There's no logical reason for something like that, to process something like that. I couldn't believe it, bro. I really couldn't believe that shit. I couldn't believe that, bro. She was this close to seeing it. At the time, physically, she was not gonna make it there, right? To be there in person, but I knew she was gonna be able to at least try to watch. My family was gonna try to watch. She didn't, she didn't get to see that. And it's like, damn, ma, you gonna pass away a week before, what we work toward? Like, you was my biggest supporter in all of this. And then in that moment, right, that's when I realized time is on nobody's side, bro. All that shit was not worth it. Worrying about, the grind, whatever. like it wasn't worth it, bro. It wasn't worth it. I want to go back and change it all the time, right? But I don't got control of that, bro. So it's like, damn, I gotta really live in that shit now. I gotta really accept it. I gotta accept my decisions to stay away from the crib. And I'm constantly working, I'm constantly working through that because it's hard to escape it, bro. That shit lives in me, bro. Like it's embedded in me, bro. I can't get my mind off of that shit, dog. And I just think like, damn, I wasted like all those times, bro, that I could have went home and I just chose not to. Those could have been extra memories for us, right? Because at this time, I'm getting into my adult years, right? I'm a different person. Like I'm still the baby, right? But my mom, this is a different version of me. So it's like, damn, she didn't really get to know who I was for real at, later in life, as I age and shit. Like bro, this shit so good, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, she didn't really get to see this version of me. The more, the wise, you know, more wise version, you know, the man. She didn't get to see that. She didn't get to see me grow into an adult. She had to see from afar, right? She had to see pictures and stuff like that. She had to see me playing. She never got to see me play baseball ever. You know what I mean? That hurt too. Just her being so sick and just not in a position to just come support me, right? She supported me. She was my biggest supporter and she was never there. Think about that, man. She couldn't be there. I know if she could, she would, but you look back and you start counting all the times, all the days, all the holidays that you missed. And it's like, damn, bro. If you put it on paper, oh my God, bro, that shit's sickening. It literally make me sick sometimes when I think about it, cause it's like, damn, man, what was I doing? Like what was I doing, bro? Hmm. And you can't get that time back, man. You have no control over that shit ever. A lot of unfinished conversations, a lot of milestones that she missed out on. My grandma too. You know, a lot of things they didn't even get to see, bro. Like some of my best years in life, they don't get to celebrate that with me. So I feel some type of way about that every single time I think about it, right? And it's hard to escape that survival mode that you're been accustomed to, for many years, right? The guilt of making it, making it out, doing something different, doing something better, progressing your life, right? That shit, man, that shit comes in so many different waves, bro. Like sometimes I can't even enjoy a nice meal, for example. I can't even enjoy shit like that sometimes, bro. That's how fucked up like death and grief has affected me, bro. Like I can't enjoy things that I work to have. Telling you, man, it's a crazy feeling, man. I'm telling you, it is a crazy feeling. It's like, sometimes I feel like, damn, do I even deserve everything that I've done, everything that I have, right? But then you talk to God about it and he reminds you why, something like this had to happen to you. And you're never gonna fully understand it. You're not gonna have all the answers right at one time, right? But as life progresses, you start to understand, you start to get some clarity. You know, the pain never leaves you, but you start to understand maybe it was best. And I can't wrap my head around that. Even though I know there's some facts to it, man. You know, I would much it's like I'm on both sides of the fence. I want my mom here, but I don't want her suffering no more. I don't want her going through the things that she had to do in her last day, like she had to deal with in her last living days, bro. I couldn't accept that shit, man. Seeing her in that hospital bed, not being able to do nothing for herself, that was unreal to me. That was unreal. I've never seen my mama like that. Never seen her like that, bro. Like my last memory of my mom, bro, it was she was in the hospital. And I told this story before, but I mean, it's always replaying. You know what I mean? I told y'all there was a time where she wasn't eating no food, right? She was refusing meals and shit, so she wouldn't eat. And I got a chance to go and see her during this was like August of 21. I got a chance to go back home and see her, and the nurses was pretty much saying like, man, she's been eating a lot of food since you've been here. Like who are you type of thing. They didn't really know that I'm the youngest son because this is that COVID restriction time. So you really they had to buckle down on visitors coming in. You know what I mean? So it was a couple people going to see my mom, my sister, my brother, my auntie consistently for months. So when I get there, they like, man, she ain't, she eating a lot of food now. This is odd of her. And I always think like, damn, my mom just probably wanted to be my mama wanted to be she didn't want me to see her that weak, right? Even though she was so weak when I seen her, man. But she muscled up some strength to try to eat some food just so I don't know, man, just so she could, try to play it off that she wasn't doing as bad as she was. And that made me feel good, just being there and seeing those nurses smiling and she having a little bit more energy from my last time ever seeing her, aside from being at the funeral. And the day that I left, I had a flight back home, right? The day that I left, my last day with her, bro, I had, I'm about to Uber because the airport was super far from you know, the hospital that she was at the time, right? And she asked me, she was like, "You want to brush my hair?" I'm like, I'm like, yeah, ma, I don't really understand. It wasn't nothing wrong with her hair, but she just wanted me to brush it. So I brush it and she just looking at me. Oh shit, man. It's almost like she knew, like, it's the last time we gonna have a moment together type of thing. And I was just like, I'm holding back the tears like I am now, right? But I did a better job right in front of her. So I'm just brushing her hair and she just looking at me. I brush it back in a ponytail. Her hair started to thin out. I ain't never seen that either too. So it was tearing me up. And then she was like, "Thank you." I was like, "You welcome, mom." I was like, "You want to eat some more food?" And she was like, so I fed her some stuff. She had some applesauce. She had a bunch of soft foods at the time, and I fed her. And yeah, that was last time. That was last time, bro. Ah, fuck. That was the last time I spent with my mom. That's the last memory I have of her alive. And sometimes it's painful to think about, and sometimes it's happy because it's like, it's a mother son love. It's nothing that can replace that shit at all. You feel me? So it's like, damn. I think about that shit now. I'm like, fuck, bro. Like that was powerful, bro. Like my mom never asked me to brush her hair, man. Like I never had to feed my mother, bro. Like I be thinking, like, man, well, like God, what was you trying to do to me at that time? Well, like, why? Like, not why, but why? Like, what is this? What is this doing for me? Like, what am I getting from this? Why are you testing me this way? I never seen my mama that weak ever in life, dog. She ain't look the same at all. She couldn't move barely, bro. Like she could just do a lot of verbal cues. And I had to feed her and brush her hair the day before I went home. And that was the last time I ever seen her alive. Shit fucked me up, bro. Ain't nothing like that, bro. That's why it ain't nothing, man. Nothing can prepare you for some shit like that. Telling you not, nothing can prepare you for some shit like that, bro. That's why my heart now is it's numb, but it's a lot, it's softer now. It's so welcoming, bro. Like I'm super kind to everybody. Not saying that I've never been kind, but you just never know. You never know when your last time is gonna be seeing someone, dog. I had to learn that shit the hard way twice in my life, bro. Two of my favorite people in life. And that shit turn you into something, man. It'll turn you into something that you won't be prepared for. But yeah, man, that's fuck, bro. I don't see how people deal with this shit. Like, I really don't. I don't see how a person can just deal with this and accept it. It makes you just rethink everything in life, man. Like these same emotions and feelings constantly running through and just like, man, fuck all of this shit. And I hate to, you know, these are things that I've been bottling up for so long, man. So I'm doing a lot better than I thought. And I don't give myself credit enough because it's like fuck some credit, nigga. Like that's ignorant, right? But it's like that shit don't mean nothing. Like most of the time, bro, when you living in it and the grief just hits you out of nowhere, dog. Like lately, I told y'all before, whenever grief hits me in certain ways, I sleep a lot. So you feel me? I work, I go to the gym, I come back home, you know, I work from home. So like I be working, whatever. I go to the gym, I go to the store, whatever. I come back and sleep my fucking day away, dog. Cause that's the only way I know how to cope with the shit. So it's like, damn, man, like now at least I know what it looks like. You know what I mean? I'm glad it's not nothing, you know, more extreme, if you know what I'm talking about. But it's hard to explain that to people because nobody really gets it, bro. It's like it's hard to explain to people that you super close to, dog. This shit just it's always gonna feel this way, man. It's always gonna feel this way. So I just stay prayed up and I just keep walking this journey, bro. That's all I can say, for real. That's all I can say, man. I appreciate everybody who still, who appreciate me for being vulnerable in this space, right? And opening up about some shit like this as a man. Cause again, it's not normal. It ain't considered strength sometime, the stereotype in the world and society today is, this ain't no cool shit to do for real. Cause I mean, it's hard. So I can see why we've been, kind of boxed in in that perspective when it comes to being vulnerable and opening up about shit that hurt us, bro. It is simple as that. Things that hurt us, pain. Like, how does that make you feel? So, yeah, man, I just don't plan on stopping talking about it, man. Cause I got, man, I'm telling you, I got stories, bro. I got stories for days, man. We ain't even, it's episode 15 and I feel like I ain't scratched the surface yet, dog. That's how deep this shit get for real. My life is that deep. So yeah, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. As always, man. I had to get this off my chest. Been feeling guilty, you know, blaming myself for a lot of things, blaming myself for deaths in itself, right? With my mom, my grandma. So I gotta work through it. I gotta, climb out of this space and continue, to change the perspective and, just think differently and heal. However long that takes. I ain't putting no time limit on myself ever again in life. That was the worst thing I've ever did. Had people around me telling me I should be, healing in certain ways and doing all this shit. Fuck that. Like this shit is gonna take its time for real. And you're never fully healed either. So, you know, you gotta just live life, man. You just gotta really live life and just understand more. Just, learn more about yourself as you deal with these things. Man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in to Talk with Tape podcast, bro. Much love to everybody, bro. Make sure y'all keep running my videos up, man, and keep tuning in to conversations. I got some guests coming up real soon. I had to take a break from guest episodes for a while, but I'm back now. I got one coming up real soon. It's gonna be that one. Got my homegirl Kayla coming on the show, so that's gonna be one that you don't want to miss. Yeah, I'm be on a couple other podcasts too as a guest. So be on the lookout for that as well, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. I'm out.